Everyone, I have a really important message that I wanted to share with everyone because I feel like it's so important for women and young people, and even just for all of us as we're out living our lives and doing things, that we're watching for each other, watching out for each other, because I never in a million years ever thought that this would happen to me. So I wanted to share my experience with you. So hopefully, if it does happen to you, you can either avoid it, or if you're unable to avoid it, you know what the next steps are to protect yourself and to make sure that you get home safe. But I was in Florida, and I was shopping for a table at Walmart, and a young woman approached me and said she was a missionary from Brazil and asked if she could pray with me. And we had some conversation, and she turned her backpack around and unzipped it and pulled out these two books and said, "Hey, I have these for you." And she handed them to me. And my reflex was to take them. You know, when someone hands you something, you just take it. And I'm looking at these books, and they were wrapped in a plastic wrapper that was kind of worn and a little cloudy looking. And I'm looking at these two books wondering what is going on. And she was telling me that I could buy the two books from her for $20. And once I realized she was trying to ask me to buy the books, I said, "Oh, no, thank you. I don't need these, but thank you." And I handed them back to her, and she took them back and stuck them in her backpack, zipped it up, and said, "Okay, thank you," and walked away. And I thought, wow, that's a strange thing to happen. And I started walking toward where to check out. And within less than a minute, I'd say 30 seconds to a minute, all of a sudden, boom, I started getting very dizzy. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm so dizzy. I'm going to really quickly get this table. I'm not going to shop for anything else. I'm going to go to my car to try to compose myself. And as I was walking out to the register, I looked down an aisle, and I saw her down the aisle texting very nervously. And at that point, I started getting more and more dizzy. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I think I've been drugged. There must have been something on those books that she handed me that I'm now feeling. And I've been an athlete and had multiple surgeries, and so I know what it feels like when you take a painkiller, something to help with the pain. And it felt like I took 20 painkillers all at one time. I was so disoriented and dizzy and just had a hard time composing myself. And so once I realized that I had been drugged, I wondered if she was texting maybe the people that she was working with and letting them know what I looked like, so they would know who she had given the books to, so they could be on the lookout. I'm assuming they were trying to traffic somebody. That's what they were there for. And so at that point, I heard clear as day. I just feel like God gave me clear instructions. And I was told, go to where there are a lot of people, stay around a lot of people, because my instinct was to go to my car and to isolate or go to the bathroom. But no, I needed to be around where there were a lot of people. So I kept walking, and I saw the pharmacy to my right, and there was a bench at the pharmacy. So I sat on the bench because I thought I was going to pass out. And then again, I heard more instructions. Let them know that you're alone. So I'm assuming so that someone didn't just walk up to me and say, "Oh, this is my girlfriend," and pretend like they knew me and walk me out of the store, and no one would even question that. So I went to the pharmacist, and I let him know something had happened, and I let him know that I was alone. And he came over, he's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "No, I think I've been drugged." And so they had Narcan available in case I had any reaction to it, in case I had any trouble breathing or anything, which praise God I didn't. But they called security, and security came over, and it was very, very hard for me to talk. It was taking everything within me to stay conscious and speak clearly. And I couldn't even remember what the girl looked like that I had just seen a couple minutes before. I just remembered she was shorter and had long black hair. I couldn't remember the clothes she was wearing, none of it. That's how disoriented I was. And I just wanted to share this story, not to scare people, but again, I never ever thought that this would happen to me. So I want you to know, if anybody ever tries to hand you anything, a book, a flyer, a business card, a candle, just anything, you do not have to take it. You can just say, "Oh no, thank you, I'm fine." You do not have to take it from them. Secondly, if you do end up touching something that might have chemicals or something on it that make you feel dizzy and you feel it hit you, your instinct is to isolate, it's to go hide. But you need to do the exact opposite. You need to be around a lot of people. Stay where there are a lot of people. Your instinct is to not make a scene and, keep to yourself until it passes. But you need to make a scene. You need to let people know that you're alone, that you don't know anybody else in that area or anybody else in that store where you are. Because I believe that those two decisions are why I'm still here today and why I'm okay. And they were unsuccessful in that. And I thank God that they chose me, because I had the instruction and I knew what to do and I knew where to go to be safe. And I'm so grateful for that. When it hit me, I knew what that feeling felt like, because I had had so many surgeries before. And so I knew what was happening to me. And I think of just younger people that maybe don't know what that feels like would think, oh, I'm so dizzy, I'm going to go to my car. And you never know what's waiting for you around the